And then like sometimes I don't realize it until after, and then I'm making the clips and I'm like, fuck, I'm working with less here. But here we are, live again.
Here we are, twice in one day.
Great.
Wow. They said we didn't have the stamina for twice in one day, that we were past our prime.
If you listen to this first and then go back to the morning podcast.
Whoa. You there? We lost you. Whoa.
I think we got a loose cable on Mike's mic. It's always popping out.
Oh, I feel like it's an internet thing. No?
No, it's my connection cord here is
Is it too short?
No, it's just it's like I think I've packed it and unpacked it into suitcases for too many times, and so now if like the microphone gets really
if you need another one, if you send me a link, I can just get you and send you another one.
That's probably for the best now. It's the Shure mic.
They did come out with a new model of that mic.
We don't need to get a new mic.
We don't need a new microphone, CJ.
CJ,
this one is perfectly fine.
The CJ is
cord.
Fine. He just needs another cord.
Is that one Is that one micro USB or USB C?
This is USB into.
But the port into your mic, is it micro USB or USB C? I don't know if you.
Come on. I'm sure it says it on the
micro USB. Yeah.
Okay. So the new one is USB C, and those are generally better cables than micro USB.
Yeah.
But
we're not getting a new mic.
Yep, that's fine.
You're fucking unbelievable. Just are you working for big cable, big USB,
big AV?
Yeah, he's big cable for sure. Anyway, if you listen to this podcast and then go back to the old one, just when I start talking about like the game, just go back in time and shoot me in the head.
Yeah. Leave that in there, CJ. That'll be the intro. Yeah. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS, and brought to you by Mortgage CS. Become a Mortgage CS Ricky VIP by going to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. This is our second pod in one day. Mike just said, shoot him in the head when he's talking about the game. You might notice in our other pod today, I started off by saying, don't ever say it can't get any worse, because it can, and it did. That's why we're doing another podcast. Jared McCain has to have surgery. Without any further ado, here is Amos and the Chef.
Now I gotta change the word to the song. We were wrong, yo, we were wrong. Fucked around and played along all along. We were wrong, yo, we were wrong. Fuck them all, yo, let them bang a gong. We were wrong. Fuck them all, yo, let them bang a gong. We were wrong.
The we were wrong intro when it's just me and it's me looking like a fucking idiot reacting to the playoff losses. I'm always in a different location. I was at Alyssa's mom's for Mother's Day. I was like dog sitting for John and Carl. I was at a hotel for one of them. One of them was back in my old apartment. Like, it's very, very rarely have I been sitting in this seat for those situations, but I am now.
Well, it was the part of your life where you move a lot. Yeah. Like for a lot of that, it was a lot of like 20s and early 30s. That's when you're moving every other year. Not me. 2 places. So we're back for another pod. There's 2 today. You can listen to the other one for the Embiid stuff, but now we're going to do the Jared McCain stuff. So here, per Jake Fischer of Steinline HQ, where he's not an employee, he's an independent contractor. He would like the IRS to know. Jared McCain informed Sixer staffers of left knee soreness following last night's game versus Indiana, sources said. An MRI today revealed a lateral meniscus tear in his left knee.
And they're taking the leg. The The leg's gone.
The injury requires, but they're still going to reevaluate him in 2 weeks, leg or not.
Reevaluating the amputation in 2 weeks.
The injury requires surgery, and he is out indefinitely. The question, as we are meniscus experts at this point, is whether they are doing a meniscus repair or a meniscectomy, where they take away the little part of meniscus and you heal sooner. This is just from my memory. This is not anything that's being reported, but the meniscus repair surgery is better long-term, but it takes longer to heal.
Do that one.
So here's the tricky part of it, is that it really depends in this case on where the tear is and how it is as to whether they can repair it or not. So, a lot of times football players will just have the where they remove the little part so they can get back sooner. Basketball, if you can repair it, you want to. He's young, obviously you'd want to. However, a lot of times they go in there and they can't repair it, and they just take out the little piece and it's back to playing basketball. So we don't know that yet. We do know that we've been doing this for 11 years, and this is by far the most fucked up, cursed season we've ever done a podcast for.
It's fucked up.
It is truly unbelievable. It is more of a bummer than anything else, as the real positive part of this year has been Jared McCain. Like, it's the podcast from 9 years ago or something. So that fucking sucks. They will miss him on the court. We'll miss him watching him. And it is truly unbelievable how bad this season has gotten. Like,
couldn't be worse.
Really unbelievable.
What? Could it be worse?
Yes. Can always be worse.
It is such a bummer. I feel bad for the kid. He's playing his ass off. He has a positive attitude amidst like one of the most disappointing seasons in sports history thus far. This is a nightmare. We are living in a nightmare. It continues to happen. How does it keep happening? Why does it always happen like this in these ways? Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's on a rookie contract. He's proven that he's a franchise. He's not, I'm not ready to say he can be the best player on any whatever, but like, he's proven that he's a guy. He's a guy that is part of a thing that you build around. And that's exciting, and that's great, and that is still a win, even if he misses the rest of the season or much of the season or whatever it is. Obviously, don't rush him back. What the fuck? As for the team, it's just like, I'm good. I'm now good. Call it. I'm fucking calling it, dude.
You're calling it what?
I'm calling it.
Well, it's been called.
It's over. I mean, no, because like they were fucking a game and a half out of the play-in like a minute ago. Yeah. And now it's just like, I'm like, just end it. Let Embiid just go into a darkness retreat for 6 months. Let Paul George sit back to backs, both ends of them. Just both ends of them. Sit the front end and then also the back end of the back to back. Well, miss it all. Take as much time as you need. Go podcast. Go get all the podcasting out of your system. Podcast every day so that then you just like bank them, and then you don't need to podcast for the rest of your contract with the Sixers. No thanks. Yeah. And Maxey, the rest of the season, he can't shoot anymore. Just like a full season of like Maxey learning how to become like a top like 10% passer in the league. Like, go do it. Everything, you're not allowed to shoot, and they're going to lose a shit ton of games, and that's fine. And I would trade everyone you can trade. This is going to be not sentimental. So the sentimental part of me like absolutely feels it, but like, let's abandon him. Like, trade Kelly Oubre for everything you can get. I think he's been excellent. And I think there's a chance some team gives you like maybe a protected first for him. Maybe you have to hold on to that for a while, but like his value is very high. He's a starter on a fair small contract he's got player option. He's going to decline that. Just
so we're clear, what's his name from Brooklyn got 2 seconds basically.
Was it 2? I thought it was 3.
Well, they gave up a second. 2.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe it ends up being 2 seconds. But even that, it's just like, fine, great, something. Maybe it's a pick swap. Kelly Oubre for a pick swap or something like that. I don't know. Trade KJ Martin for whatever you can get. If you can package them together and get like a bad first, fine. Trade Yabusele. Trade everybody. Trade everyone you can play. Give me when Bone is healthy. Give me like 30. Trade Andre Drummond. Give me 35 minutes a night of Adem Bona. Sign some two-way guys. Sign some guys out of the Euro League. Like, see what you can get. Let this be like a Nick Nurse test tube season where you can just like figure out like, oh, is there some edge that I haven't learned? Like, everybody should just be trying stuff. Like, I don't know. Caleb Martin, time to like completely rework your shot. So for the next 3 seasons, like you have it down better. Eric Gordon, go to accounting school and learn how to be an accountant. Because that's it for him.
Well, he could work with Jake Fischer and Steinlein.
That'd be great. Let Ricky cook. Just let Ricky cook entirely. Do whatever he wants to do. Just like everybody take swings on guys. This has to just become a process here. This is the best case scenario. This is the David Robinson is hurt. Spurs win the lottery. Get Tim Duncan season. Or what happened with the Warriors when they sucked and got the second pick and made the very obvious mistake at the time, which was their Okafor pick of drafting James Wiseman, which was dumb at the time, just like the Okafor was dumb at the time for us, and made that mistake. I think that the draft is good. Obviously, the Sixers own a top 6 protected pick. There's a good chance that they don't get it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because the alternative this season is like forcing guys back before they're healthy or whatever it is. Like,
just to be clear, so anyone knows, so the only way they're guaranteed to get that pick is if they have the worst or second worst record.
So they're not going to be that. Yeah. It'll be some percentage chance on lottery night if they actually commit to this, and we'll sweat it and hope they get lucky. They haven't gotten lucky thus far this season. They have in the past.
Lucky.
Other times they've been lucky. I think you just got to try it. You just got to try it. Like, if McCain's not there, Maxi's playing at like a sub regular level. PG only has so many miles left in him. I don't want to like burn those miles off in a season that doesn't matter. Like, do whatever you can do to like maximize, sell everything for parts, and come back next season. Hopefully you get a top 5 pick. If not, whatever, at least you got some second rounders for whoever you traded, and maybe like this is Maxey got better this year because of X, Y, and Z, or Ricky Council is now like he's worked all that out of his system. Whatever the fuck. Resign B-Ball Paul, who just got waived. Like, bring anybody, just do anything. Anything. The season is cursed. It's a cursed season. We have to kill it. And by the way, yes, it's a top 6 pick. Yes, we'd go into the lottery with it. Unsure if we get it. Rig it.
They're not rigging it for us.
Fucking rig it, dude. We fucking deserve it. Rig the goddamn lottery for us after what we've been through. They've rigged it for lesser teams. And I need it to be rigged. Rig the goddamn lottery for us so we get the pick. We don't have to get the first pick. Cooper Flag, go to Washington, be the president. I don't give a shit. I'll take the 4th pick. That'd be delightful. That's fine. I'm happy with 4.
Do you think if the Wizards draft him, don't you have to be 35 to be president?
And rig anything. The world doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't need to.
Okay.
We're past a level of existence. We are in some sort of like fucking Saw level torture chamber that is just seeing how far we can be pushed. And I'm saying, I'm tapping out, and I'm saying this season is over. The season is canceled. It doesn't exist anymore. We are selling everything for parts. Goodbye. Get what they can get. See if next year is less cursed, because holy shit. If they make the play-in, if this team makes the play-in, and they make my dumb, simple fucking ass believe that they can like, oh, well, if they get by Atlanta, then maybe they'll give Cleveland trouble. I cannot do that. Do not make me do it. Do not make me do it. Tank. End it. I cannot do it. We cannot survive this. Call it a washed year. If you make me watch this Sixers team in the playoffs, give me a break from the playoffs. Give us all a break from the misery of the goddamn playoffs. Just give us a fucking break from that. And so then we can go next year and go like, hey, actually, that was a tough time. It's just a mini process. We do a mini process this year, just a little process. And then next year we go like, man, we got this guy. He's helpful. We can get into whether we should trade the pick or something for not. I'm going to say they probably shouldn't, because Maxey plus McCain plus whoever they get with the 4th pick that I am rigging it to be
Yep.
ours.
And then what am I going to say? You're going to say they should keep it, and then what am I going to say?
You're going to say they should trade it.
Right.
But I'm going to say they should keep it because
right.
I think that there can be guys that contribute right away. There can be role players. Caleb Martin will be here. Maybe Ricky is worthwhile. Whoever they get in a trade for the other guys, fine. All fine. Everything fine. This can be the. I'm not saying like obviously the 2 timelines didn't work because Weissman sucked, but like they can just get a helpful player who can grow into being somebody that takes over after Embiid's prime because they already have Maxey and McCain who they will be here for. Anyway, not important right now. All I'm saying is I cannot deal with a like let's try to make it work. Use Moxie the rest of the season. Like call it, end it, listen to the signs. Like you have to abort. That's it.
Okay. I'll give my opinion on that. That was a great riff by you, by the way. Just want to give you credit on that one. You did a good job. The Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Mortgage CS. Here's the good news. This spring, instead of worrying about the Sixers playoffs, you can go ahead and house shop. You can. You have plenty of time. After work, you're going to drive to see another house. Call your wife, call your husband, go, there's another house on this road. You want to go see it? Realtor will be there at 6. Yeah, go see it, blah, 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 blah. If you're going to do it next year, Mortgage CS is how you're going to get your mortgage. They're an independent mortgage broker. They are friends of the Ricky. They treat they treat everybody great. They treat Ricky customers even greater. If you want to become a Mortgage CS Ricky VIP, go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. And even if you're going to buy a house next year, right now you want to start planning ahead. Get your W-2s all together after you get them. Get your financial documents. Then you can reach out to Mortgage CS, get a credit check, get a pre-approval so you can start 2025 way ahead of the game. It'll also help you with tax planning. Know what you're going to do next year before you file your taxes. Mortgage CS is going to be your conduit, your concierge, that's what CS stands for, concierge service, to a mortgage. What you don't have to worry about with Mortgage CS, because they're independent, is secret little ties to banks that you don't know about. They work for you and you alone. They want to get you the best rate they can. That is their only goal. They're going to be there for you morning, noon, night, weekends, whenever. Be patient with you. Take time. Explain the process to you. You can get a hold of them whenever you want. Here is the CEO Ben's cell phone number. It's his legit cell phone number, 267-391-7425. Ask him what he thinks about the McCain injury, if they should tank. 267-391-7425. That is Ben's cell. Or at any time, go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Learn more about him. You don't believe me? Google him. See all the 5-star reviews, hundreds of them right there. Again, this advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Mortgage CS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information. So a couple of clarifiers, because before we did the pod, a lot of people were like, tank. Just to be clear on all of this, they are not going to be able to tank in a way that gets them the first or second worst record in the league, most likely.
No chance.
At this point, what they can't do is like Maxey's going to play because he's healthy. Paul George is going to play mostly as long as he's healthy. The Embiid thing, like truthfully, you could say shut him down. I don't know if they would. Now they do have an opportunity here if the face injury is a 4 to 6 week injury, and that gets them to, I would say the league stops paying attention to the teams playing this little bullshit game about tanking after the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So that's really what you need to get to. Now, in terms of trading those guys, what a tank really means for this year, I think, is exactly what you described. If they choose to do it, it's Oubre, it's Yabusele, it's Drummond.
Yep.
Now the tricky thing here, and I think people probably have to be patient, is who knows. Now Brooklyn just made a trade right now, and I think that's because they want to be worse. Brooklyn wants to trade their guys because they want to be worse. I think they're better than they wanted to be. I think the Sixers, rather than caring about the pick, they have to pick the right time in the market to deal those guys, because it's more likely that they're going to get draft capital by dealing those guys than getting the pick. There's a chance they could get a top pick, but if somebody is really in need for a Yabusele type player or Oubre type player, I think that is when. And really, what you're talking about with all these guys is probably seconds, but seconds are valuable, especially in quantity. It can help you make trades. I
mean, right now, the chance at a top 4 seed it's top 4, so the Sixers could be top 6. But I guess if they're out of right now, they're the sixth in Tankathon, and they have a 37% chance at a top 4 seed. And Washington and New Orleans are the lowest, and they have a 52% at a top 4 seed. So the Sixers
top 4 pick, you mean?
Top 4 pick, yeah. And so if they just got to give themselves a chance. If you're like 5 to 8,
you have a chance.
You have a chance.
Yeah, you have
and so like that's what they should be aiming for at this point.
Because
give yourself a shot and trade those guys, like you said, so that you give yourself a better chance, because all you can have is a chance, and see if you can just stack a couple seconds so you can cash in later when it's a season that has not been sent from the depths of hell. Like you have to just listen to the way the universe is telling you, like, it's not going to be this season. It's not going to happen this season. Everyone must acknowledge that, come together and say, like, let's burn this to the ground for 1 year.
So I think, and the other thing to remember about the lottery odds is the bad thing is if you have a really, really bad record, they have changed the odds in such that it makes it harder for you to get a top pick. The thing that is better for us in this case is what it does do is that it like flattens it. So if you have the 5th or 6th best record or 7th best record, it makes it sort of like more likely, your odds are closer to the worst team than they were before.
Yeah.
As soon as Embiid broke his face today, I was sort of in the this season is cooked thing. I don't know that they will make that decision until they hear about Embiid's diagnosis.
Sure.
So somebody mentioned on Twitter to me, and I guess you can, I didn't look it up, but they said that they looked up another what's it called?
Orbital bone?
No, not orbital. The thing
sinus.
Sinus, another sinus crack. Courtney Lee did in 2009 against the Sixers, and he was back in a week. Now, maybe it's because it was a smaller fracture. I don't know. So if Embiid, they will not do this if Embiid is back in a week or 2.
Right. And that would make me upset, honestly.
Yes.
I'm just so ready. Like, it's truly like, obviously, if everybody else was healthy, losing Jared McCain would not be like,
a big deal.
Okay, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Right,
call it.
right.
It's over. Whatever. From a meniscus injury that who knows, he could also be back in a couple months. It's just the tonnage of stuff. Like a team and an organization and a vibe can only withstand so much, and it's just like continues to pile on and happen. And for McCain to fall on his head going through concussion protocol, and then go like, I actually tore my meniscus, which is so far from the head, that's almost as far as you can get. But it's just like, you just have to like look. You're not looking for signs in like weird cloud formations. You're looking for signs in like big flashing red lights with like a fucking baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire saying, "Stop fucking trying this year. It's not going to happen."
The universe is begging them to stop trying.
Please. And now I am as well. I was holding on, and now that I'm done holding on, I am falling as fast as I can to my death. And so I just needed to just absolutely whatever you can get, loot the store for whatever expiring contracts you can, get anything and say, man, this year was wasted. Let's see if like the guys can get better. Let's try Justin Edwards out, who's been playing better in the G League, by the way. Happy to hear it. Let's try him out. Give him 30 minutes a night. Like, try anything. Stop playing NBA basketball. We cannot continue. We cannot survive. Stop. End it.
Funny. It's actually not funny. It's just, anytime something like this happens, I get, you get your share of, well, this is karma, the process. And this was the first time that I was like, maybe it is.
Karma for what?
I don't know. It's karma for something.
For what?
I don't know.
fucking ridiculous. I still hate that ESPN writer who put the karma comes for the Sixers headline. I hope they fucking come over.
Wait a minute. Is this a new headline?
No, that was like a few weeks ago or something like that. The Ramona article, like it wasn't her title, but the push alert was like karma comes for the Sixers. Right. Just like come outside my house for a second, or give me your address. I gotta show you something. It's just a fucking ridiculous. This season has been true like torture porn, and I can't believe it keeps happening. And like, let's just get our guys are in a war zone. Like they're gonna get bullets or raining down around like Maxey's head. Like get him out of there.
Yeah, honestly,
fly him out of the country.
They should do what you're saying simply to protect the rest of the team.
Please.
You have to tell the universe we're not doing this anymore.
We're done.
So,
Uncle.
Yeah.
I give. Please. And give some of these. And KJ Martin is playing great basketball. Oubre's playing great basketball. Yabusele deserves a chance to play for a team.
We'll do PR for the guys. You know what we'll do? We will take here's my promise to you, Daryl, because I know you're probably listening. So here's what we're going to do. We will turn our podcast and our writers, the very little Sixers content we're going to do the rest of the year, into only a tool for your trade stuff. So we will do articles about how good KJ Martin is, how good Yabusele is, how good Oubre is.
Not even lying.
Yes, it's fucking so awesome. Can't even imagine it. So
you just you just can't. We can't hold on anymore. You have to let go. The season is gone. Accept it for what it is. Let go and trade stuff. And I'm like dreading the idea of doing 2 podcasts a week until fucking, April about this team.
We can talk about other stuff.
And it's like, I would feel just at least give me one trade in the next couple weeks where you trade somebody for something, like where you sell.
Where they're sending you a message that they've heard you and they're not going to put you through this anymore.
Yeah, please. Yeah. It like the holding on of like, I'm going to have to watch this and be like, oh, they took 1 of 2 from Charlotte. So the tide is turning. This has been the worst season of all time. And we have to like find a way to spin it to be a positive. Mm-hmm. And allowing all these guys to rest and obviously Maxey's going to keep playing and PG's going to play sometimes and whoever, but like taking a mental break from like high intensity, contending quote unquote basketball of like playing intense games with stakes that wears on you over time. It's good sometimes. I'm glad that Maxey had those playoff opportunities and had those failures and had some success and all that stuff, but it's also like drains on you. And Embiid obviously has had his. And so it's like, let's just all take it easy. Mm-hmm. Let's all take a little bit of a break. Mm-hmm. We'll senioritis the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. And then we'll come back refreshed with more second round picks, with the number 4 pick in the draft, who we will keep next season. And we can go, okay, now this is the year. Now this is going to be the year. That has to be the case. I can't do it anymore. We can't do this anymore. It's over.
Yeah. It would be tough to do. I am agreeing with you. And while I am waiting to see, look, I don't think there's any way they're doing anything in the playoffs. And I do think it would be an enormous relief for them to do what you're saying they should do. I think whenever we get the Embiid news, and if it's bad news, I can guarantee you it will come 7 minutes before kickoff of the Eagles game on Sunday. Yep. That is when they will send it out. If it is bad Embiid news, they should absolutely 100% do this. If it's not, they're not gonna. I wish they would, but I don't think they will. But if it is bad Embiid news, and when I say bad, I mean 4 weeks or longer, I think specifically, I think they would probably, I think there's a real chance they could throw in the towel in that case. All right.
This is not like, I think there is an argument, the opposite argument is like, hey, if the Sixers start, punting on the season, does that send the wrong message to the players and the league and the coaching staff or whatever, and Maxey specifically, like, oh, this is not a competitive organization. This organization cares more about the future than like doing right by its players right now. And like I a little bit hear that in some. That's why I was believing that this whole time. Like you can't just, if there's a chance Embiid can play, then you owe it to the whole team and to him to try it out. But like now that we're here, a quarter into the season, over a quarter, closing on a third, and McCain's done. Embiid might be done for a while. They're in the hole that they're in. Like at a certain point, you gotta. I get on Daryl for not being like a person all the time and caring about like chemistry and the message he's sending to players and all that stuff. But like this has breached the threshold of what is responsible. Like we can't. There's no more like. I think if everybody had it, it's just like. I think if you told Maxey, hey, we're trading everybody for picks because the season's been complete hell, I think after all this, he might be like, yeah.
And can I take back-to-backs off too?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Please, dude. Hey, go to the movies, dude. Like see something in a theater.
Go to the movies during the game.
Go to the movies during the game. I recommend all the fans do that as
Go
well.
to the movies during the game.
Let me just right now live do the first Tankathon sim of the year. Sim lottery. We got 4. Oh my God.
There we go. And
it's official.
By the way, this would give us one more lottery party, which is obscene. And
the last one.
The last one until the next one. All right. I have to go now.
Call it.
Call it.
I'm calling it.
Mike's calling it. CJ, are you calling it yet? CJ's calling it.
I'm done. I'm gone.
All right.
Do not call this number again.
And by the way, again, I'm telling you, Embiid news, set your alarm. 4:16 Sunday. That's when
out of office.
Yes. All right. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah, Lick Face.